Thousands of people in Los Angeles have helped usher in the Lunar New Year, the year of the goat.
It's not like you design something, build something, and plop it into space.
A group of artists have opened an exhibition at CSUN. In downtown Los Angeles, CSUN students premiered a full-length feature film.
This is Valley View News.
Hello and welcome to Valley View News. I'm Jasmine Dalton.
And I'm Randy Freese.
Angelino celebrated the 116th Chinese Lunar New Year with the parade that attracted many. Valley View News reporter Courtney Williams has more on the story.
Thousands came to Chinatown to celebrate the 116th annual Chinese New Year Golden Dragon Parade. Several cultures and generations celebrated the arrival of the sheep, goat, or ram. The parade started with a motorcycle bike show by the Los Angeles Police Department. The parade strolled down Hill Street and North Broadway, followed by the Historical Society of Southern California. Mayor Garcetti and other Los Angeles community leaders joined in the parade. Local schools and organizations allowed students to contribute as well as displaying their own classroom dragons. The children showed martial arts techniques and traditional dragon dance routines. Los Angeles County Sheriff Jim McDonald served as the Grand Marshal. A multitude of participants stood on embellished floats from several companies representing the ram. Children and adults wore ancient traditional Chinese wardrobes. Bands marched down Hill Street as dancers sashayed between them. The parade had dozens of colorful cloth dragons. This celebration brought more than just excitement for the public.
You can look around you, it's not just Chinese. I mean, there's African Americans, there's Latino Americans, there's white Americans. I mean, people love to celebrate culture. I would like to think that. And LA is a very diverse, probably the most diverse city in America, I would say.
However, the parade is still a time for families to come together.
We always come here every year for Chinese New Year because it's just like a tradition. Since I was little, we've always come to watch the parade.
Many people are also coming together to the Tin Hau Temple during the parade to give prayers. Tin Hau Temple is a traditional place to pray for ancestors into the new year. In Chinatown, Courtney Williams, Valley View News.
U.S. Defense Secretary Ash Carter has called together a number of U.S. generals, diplomats, and intelligence officials to discuss battle tactics against ISIS. Carter says he needed a better understanding of the administration's approach to defeating the Islamic terrorist group. Carter held the meeting just 6 days after taking office and called his group Team America.
Iraq may not be ready to take back the city of Mosul from Islamic State militants. Iraq's chief of the Security and Defense Committee says they are advancing on the ground but will not retake Mosul by April as they had hoped. The Pentagon says the U.S. has sent thousands of weapons and more are on the way. Iraqi officials have insisted they haven't received these weapons. Mosul is Iraq's second largest city after Baghdad.
A Somali militant group affiliated with al-Qaeda has called for attacks against the Mall of America. The group Al-Shabaab released an hour-long video online urging Muslims to attack shopping malls in the United States, Canada, Britain, and other Western countries. Al-Shabaab took credit for an attack on a Kenyan mall in 2013 that killed 67 people. The Mall of America in Bloomington, Minnesota, has issued a statement saying it has increased security.
British authorities say 3 teenage girls from London have fled their homes to join ISIS. The students of London's Bethnal Green Academy reportedly flew to Istanbul during their midterm break and are now traveling to Syria. Airport surveillance showed the girls going through security checkpoints at London's Gatwick Airport before boarding a Turkish Airlines flight. Police are hoping to contact the girls through Turkish media and social media. 2 of the girls are 15 years old, the other 16. All are said to be straight-A students.
Graphic design students at CSUN are providing creative visual services to clients on and off campus.
Valley View's Dianese Lopez Reyes joins us from Studio B with an expert from the Center of Visual Communications.
Thank you, guys. I'm here with Dave Moon, Professor of Arts and Managing Director of the Center of Visual Communications here at CSUN. Welcome, Professor, and thank you.
Thanks for having me here.
In 2007, you and Professor Joe Batista established VisCom. Can you tell us what's VisCom?
Sure. So the Center for Visual Communication, VisCom, it really, came out of from basically needs from our industry folks. So for years, we've had a portfolio review, annual portfolio review. We had a lot of professionals coming in, reviewing students' work and so forth, giving some advices and so forth. And one of the more common theme was that, hey, your students, you know, their portfolio, they look really great, you know, and it seems like a great kid, and but what they're missing is some professional or practical experience. And I like, you know, a lot of them said, how do you incorporate that into it? So I got thinking, and I've also for years have had my own studio out here in Chatsworth, and I've always had former students and current students working for me. And I decided that, you know what, is there a model that allows to take that professional, right, agency model on campus and make it a nonprofit and serve our students? So after talking to various individuals, both on and off campus, you know, I thought it was a good idea. So we started in 2007, like you said, with 5 students and Joe and myself, not knowing where and how this is all going to go, and we decided that let's try this. That's sort of how we got started, and we wanted to provide students additional experience outside of the classroom. So VisCom is a combination of classroom experience, laboratory, and a career / work.
What type of projects do the students do?
Right. So as with a lot of the organizations or industries out there, you know, graphic design traditionally have started as a print-based, right? So you do brochures, advertisements, logo development, things of that nature. Over the years, we've found that our industry has changed also. So we started to add web design, and primarily most of the front-end stuff, right? And then in the last couple of years, the industries of professionals are really working with you know, time-based media, which is motion graphics piece. So from print to web, now to, you know, motion graphics. So these are the kinds of projects that the students are involved in, that both on and off campus clients.
What are some of the companies that your students have worked with?
So the way it started, back in 2007, our focus was really try to work with companies outside campus, right? And we had quite a bit of companies such as, you know, California United Bank to, boy, you know, to name some, just a few, right? I mean, that, and of course we had a lot of projects from on campus as well. We've had projects for Annenberg Foundation that we recently did. We have projects from Hollywood Bowl, the Disney Concert Hall. These are some of the notable companies outside, but there's been a lot of you know, within the community itself that we serve businesses that with their branding, identity, web, and motion graphics needs as well.
And what's next for VisCom?
Well, it's a good question. So I think, you know, this past almost 8 years, not because we wanted to, there was a huge need from on campus to provide graphics, web, or a lot of the, you know, promotional marketing materials, quite frankly, whether it is faculty running a grant or department needing more students, or an event that needs to draw greater community, including students. We provided posters, websites, to social media platforms, to posters, packets, various things. And I think the conversation has shifted slightly, where the university hired outside agency to do sort of like a bigger campaign, branding campaign, and I think that our role is going to be slightly focused more towards off-campus and lesser involvement with on-campus projects. And it's a partnership with VisCom and with university, where how do we create an opportunity based on student success, which is our top priority, and that's always been our focus, right?
Well, Professor, thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
And now back to you.
A director of the World Human Rights Forum is apologizing for taking part in an alleged racism incident involving other Chelsea football fans at a Paris train station. Images show Richard Barkley and 2 other men allegedly pushing a black man off a train and chanting racist songs. He says he has a long history of working in the human rights field and denies being racist.
Former New York Mayor Rudy Giuliani says he does not believe that President Obama loves America.
I don't feel this love of America. I believe his initial approach is to criticize this country and then afterwards to say a few nice things about us.
Giuliani was at an event in New York when he gave his thoughts about President Obama. His remarks were reported by Politico and the New York Daily News. Giuliani was a former candidate for president who sought the 2008 GOP nomination but lost to Senator John McCain.
The Tin Can Transmissions Art Gallery is celebrating its 10-year anniversary with a special exhibition at CSUN. Valley View News reporter Jasmine Dalton has more on the art gallery's history.
This piece is a door that I found on the street.
A door full of meat that represents body and life. This is just one of the several pieces of art on display at the Tin Can Transmissions exhibition.
Art transmits a lot of different ideas and a lot of different feelings and kind of circumstances. They kind of play off of this, and it kind of goes, there's a back and forth.
Christian is a member of the Telegraph Group, a unique group of artists who met in the Detroit and Michigan area 10 years ago. And ever since then, they've been holding collaborative art shows internationally and abroad in places like Berlin and Toronto, and even right here at CSUN, marking the group's 10th anniversary.
And we had a really good response to our work, and it's a really unique combination of artists. We all work completely different ways and address sculpture and painting in totally different ways. And that's what makes it really interesting.
But what makes this specific gallery even more interesting is that all of the 25 works of art were assembled and created within a week before the opening ceremony.
And that's the way life is. That's the way, you know, that's the way art is. You know, it's not like you design something, build something, and plop it in a space. You have to contend with that space.
Much of the artwork was inspired by CSUN and created from raw materials including bamboo, furniture, plastic bags, clay, and objects from around the San Fernando Valley. At the end of the exhibition, the artwork will be taken down and destroyed. This exhibit will be open until Saturday, March 28th at the CSUN Art and Gallery Center. In Northridge, Jasmine Dalton for Valley View News. I enjoyed visiting the art gallery here at CSUN, but in other news, 12 Californians are among those competing to take a private trip to Mars in 2024. The flight is one-way only. The space travelers will spend the rest of their lives on the red planet. The estimated $6 billion trip is being organized by a Dutch non-profit called Mars One. Mars One says it will take 24 finalists on a 7-month journey to Mars. One group will have 4 people and will arrive in 2025, and the remaining 20 participants will join them 2 years later.
Coming up, we'll find out more from a full-time bottle and can collector just how much she makes from recycling.
Also, Disneyland has announced ticket prices will be increasing yet again. It's all next in this week's Business Report.
Can't let him make a... Dude, you better not be illegally downloading movies again. I don't want a virus on my computer. Seriously.
Yes!
Got it.
They got it. What an idiot.
When you rip off copyrighted material, someone could be ripping you off.
What the... Where's my money?
Next, with his latest business report, here is John Salas.
Honda Motor Company has named a new chief executive who will take over in late June. The move came after the Japanese automaker's current CEO announced that he was stepping down from the position after 6 years. Incoming CEO Takiro Hachigo will help Honda battle the fallout from several recalls that have damaged its reputation. Hachigo joined the company in 1982 as an engineer and rose into the management ranks. President Obama has proposed a change for the Department of Labor that would mandate brokers to follow a fiduciary standard. The change would prioritize clients' interest over brokers' interest. Many Republicans and financial firms oppose the proposal. They are fearful that it will limit broker compensation. Officials said there would be cutbacks on hidden fees from clients who are steered into more expensive products. The administration said more details would be available when the official rulemaking process begins. A new report indicates that many Americans are saving, but they're still at risk of a financial crisis. Bankrate found that more than a third of Americans were in credit card debt or did not have emergency savings. The figures released today do show some improvements from last year. About 58% of Americans had more emergency savings than credit card debt in the survey, compared to 51% a year ago. A single mother works hard to take care of her 2 children. Valley View News reporter Desiree Lopez spoke with a woman who recycles bottles and cans for a living. Here's Juana Quintanilla's story.
It is 4 in the morning, and while everyone else is asleep, Juana Quintanilla is getting ready to start her 10-hour shift. A single mother of 2, she has high hopes of having a productive day. She starts her engine and heads out to the morning dusk.
Todos los días yo manejo por esta calle, llego a la Fairfax, me pongo mis guantes, mi gorro, mi cabeza, agarro mi carrito de marqueta y me pongo a reciclar. Todos los días, eso es mi trabajo.
Her rigorous routine. She parks her car and walks miles. She has been recycling for 6 years. Doing so has earned the trust of the community.
A mí me dan permiso que yo me meta a las casas a sacar los botes, pero algunas personas ya me tienen los botes juntados y me los dan cuando me ven.
Her earnings are more than a minimum wage job.
Por día yo agarro $80 por día. Todos los días. Y sí, y cuando lleno mi camioneta, mi Benz, la lleno, me saco $230 cuando me dura en 2 días.
She takes her breaks and tells us why she chose this kind of labor.
No tenía trabajo, dejé el trabajo que yo tenía, me quitaron el trabajo y después no tenía nada que hacer y solo estaba en la casa sin hacer nada, salía a buscar trabajo y no encontraba. Entonces me prestaron un carro pequeño y empecé a...
Recycling has not only provided for Quintanilla's family, but has also taught her sons valuable life lessons.
She's very humble and sweet. She's a caring mother. She always works hard to put. She had always worked hard to put a roof over our heads and food on the table, and she has definitely taught me that, or showed me that she doesn't need a man to support her, support me or my brother, and she's better off on her own. She's a very strong woman. I've learned that work is not a choice. You have to work hard irregardless. Life can surprise you at snap on a finger, and you just have to be strong and just keep going, even though it will hurt and it will scar you.
The aluminum dollar she made for that day has not only brought food to the table, but has Quintanilla continuing to search for that aluminum dollar the next day. In Los Angeles, Desiree Lopez for Valley View News.
U.S. home sales dropped to their slowest pace in 9 months during January. The National Association of Realtors says sales of existing homes dropped 4.9%. 2014 was a disappointing year, and realtors this year hoped a stronger U.S. economy would boost sales, but that is yet to happen. Sales slid in all 4 major geographical regions, with the West taking a major blow with a 7.1% drop. Surprise! Gas prices are on the rise again. The average price for a gallon of regular unleaded jumped 13 cents in the past 2 weeks. Industry analyst Trilby Lundberg says the rise follows months of dropping prices. The cost of gasoline rose in Southern California following an explosion at ExxonMobil's Torrance refinery. According to a survey, Los Angeles has the highest priced gas in the U.S. at $2.90 a gallon. The price of tickets and annual passes have risen for both Disneyland and Disney World. Disney adult single-day tickets have increased by $3. Orlando's Disney World adult tickets have risen from $99 to $105. But the big increase goes to Disneyland Premium passes. The passes have increased by $80, which makes their price now $779. The increase is said to pay for new features and additions to the parks. This includes new castle decorations and a new fireworks show. U.S. dock workers along the West Coast are back on the job after a work slowdown clogged ports with backed up cargo. Ships waiting offshore had large containers filled with retail goods, which should have been on shore shelves by now if it wasn't for a labor dispute that ended last week. A tentative agreement was reached, but members of the union must still vote on whether they'll accept it. Even if they do, LA port officials say that it will take dock workers 3 months to return to what he called normalcy. That's all for business. Back to you.
Coming up next, we will have coverage from this year's Oscar ceremony.
We'll also hear about a new independent movie that was produced by some CSUN film students.
Do you know what to do?
Yes.
Bring it back to me. Then I'll give you your money.
Frank Thomas, you are under arrest for the theft of trade secrets. Come with me.
Bye-bye, Frank. Theft of trade secrets is illegal.
People think I'm trash, but they're wrong. Today, I'm just an aluminum can, but one day, I could be a stadium.
Now with the latest scoop in entertainment news, here's Samantha Benitez.
Thank you, Randy. The 87th Academy Awards proved to be a night full of excitement. Neil Patrick Harris hosted the event and started off the show with the musical number alongside Anna Kendrick. J.K. Simmons took home the night's first award of Best Supporting Actor for his role in Whiplash. Boyhood's Patricia Arquette won Best Supporting Actress. Eddie Redmayne took home his first Oscar for his role as Stephen Hawking in The Theory of Everything. Redmayne earlier won a Golden Globe for the role. Best Actress was given to Julianne Moore for her groundbreaking performance in Still Alice. Last but not least, Birdman took home the award for Best Picture. Social justice was a big theme at this year's Academy Awards. John Legend and Common performed a powerful rendition of the song Glory from the movie Selma. Michael Oyelowo, the actor who played Martin Luther King in the film, was seen in tears, as well as Oprah and Chris Pine. John Legend and Common weren't the only stars that came to serve another purpose, though. When Patricia Arquette accepted her award for Best Supporting Actress, she demanded equal rights for women.
It's our time to have wage equality once and for all, and equal rights for women in the United States of America.
Host Neil Patrick Harris also took a jab at the lack of color diversity among this year's Oscar nominees. It seems like the Oscars was full of laughs, politics, moving performances, and surprises. CSUN students give their opinions on last night's show.
I was glad Birdman won.
When Neil Patrick Harris revealed his prediction, because he's actually a magician, and so that really freaked me out that he was able to get that in the box that Octavia had been watching the whole time, and yeah, I love that.
That really distasteful immigration joke. He was just like, why would they give him a green card? And he like made a face that he won. It's like, why would you say that?
Yeah, it just kind of seemed very scripted, too scripted, and yeah, it was just mediocre, you know.
A legal dispute continues over Bobby Christina Brown, the daughter of Whitney Houston. She remains in a coma in a hospital after she was found unconscious in a bathtub in her home. Her father, Bobby Brown, and his adopted son, Nick Gordon, disagree on whether Gordon can visit her. A lawyer for Brown said Gordon was offered a visit under certain terms. Gordon's attorneys say Brown has denied Gordon permission to visit. Authorities say Gordon was the one who discovered Bobby Christina in the bathtub. Police say they are still investigating the case. American Horror Story star Ben Wolfe has died after suffering a stroke. Wolfe was under heavy sedation at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center after being struck by a car while crossing the street. Medics found him unconscious but breathing. The driver was not ticketed because police say the accident appeared to be Wolfe's fault. Wolfe's organs are now being donated to help about 50 people. Family members say they are planning a memorial service in Santa Barbara. The movie leaderboard is the same for the second straight week. 50 Shades of Grey topped the weekend's box office again, making an estimated $22 million. Kingsman: The Secret Service earned an estimated $18 million. The SpongeBob movie made $16 million, taking third place in back-to-back weekends. Some CSUN students have premiered a feature-length film. Valley View's own John Gripe has more with the creators of the movie.
A screening was held at the Downtown Independent Theater for the movie titled Lori Sheedy.
Lori!
Yeah, Mr. Croner, I'm right here.
I need you to put out these books.
The co-directors and writers of the movie, Brian Montgomery and Zachary Friedman, worked on the project while studying cinema and television arts at Cal State University Northridge. Along with fellow CSUN film student Connor Heck, they co-founded their own production company. Friedman, who will be graduating this spring, says he thinks making a movie taught him more about film than what he could just learn in the classroom.
When did you guys start this project?
We started in the summer of 2013. That was our sophomore year at CSUN. And so the entire process from the writing to it being completed in post-production would probably be about 2 years.
During that time, Montgomery and Friedman launched 2 different crowdfunding campaigns to raise money for the project. They raised a total of about $11,000. The majority of the film was shot within a 2-week span back in August of 2013. After spending the second year in post-production, 1,000 Yard Films was able to have a screening for the supporters of the flick to see what they had created.
This night is for you guys. Everyone who worked on this movie, this night is for you to show you that, hey, this is what we did. And I am very, very, very proud of it.
After the movie premiered, a reception was held with food and drinks for guests. Friedman says they were very happy with the number of people that showed up.
There were about just shy of 200 people at the event, which was great. We were very pleased with the turnout. We invited the cast and crew and their family and friends, along with those in the CSUN community, along with the professors and local business owners who let us go and use their locations for the shoot.
The premiere of the film was just the beginning for Lori Sheedy. The movie has already been entered in several film festivals, and Montgomery and Friedman will be finding out in a couple of months where Lori Sheedy could make her next debut. In Los Angeles, John Gripe, Valley View News.
Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week took over New York City with looks from the 1920s and 1970s. Marquez's show featured a variety of Gatsby-themed gowns, while Zimmerman sent billowing maxi dresses down the runway. Reality star Kendall Jenner walked in several shows. Some models complained they are being paid in clothing instead of cash. Tom Ford debuted his collection in Los Angeles with Jared Leto, Jay-Z, Beyonce, and Reese Witherspoon in attendance. Vogue editor-in-chief Anna Wintour skipped shows in London in order to attend Ford's show and the Academy Awards. The Razzie Awards just determined this year's worst of the worst films. Kirk Cameron's Saving Christmas took home 4 wins in the categories of Worst Picture and Worst Screenplay. The categories of Worst Actor and Screen Combo were won by the combo of Cameron and his ego. Michael Bay's 4th installment of Transformers also led the pack with the most nominations. Other Best of the Worst honorees included Megan Fox for her role in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That's all today for entertainment. Now back to Randy and Jasmine.
Well, that does it for another edition of Valley View News. I'm Randy Freese.
And I'm Jasmine Dalton. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great day.